nothing I wouldn't do for you. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. For you. For you. For you. For you. For you. No more patience when I'm feeling low. On vacation, my mind wants to go. Overthinking.
Hello, hello. We are live from Indiana Tech. My name is Essaz, otherwise known as Ocean, and I'm here today with Q to talk to you guys and watch the Purdue Black versus Indiana Tech Valorant game. We're really excited today. We have a range of Ascendant to Immortal from Purdue's team, and we have a Diamond to Immortal range on Indiana Tech's team, so this is probably going to be a really interesting game tonight.
Should be a lot of fun to see, especially to see how Indiana Tech is able to bounce back off of a hard-fought loss last week. Sitting at 1-1 on the season, going against the Purdue Black squad that's looking for their first dub of the semester here. So both teams, I feel like, needing dubs in their own way, so it should be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to it.
Starting off on map number 1, going to be heading off to Bind here. We'll kind of go through the rest of the maps as things get started. Of course, Bind, I feel like, one of the good old tried and true maps. It's seen some adjustments over the time, but nothing too crazy. What kind of things are you expecting to see here, Ocean, as we get ready to head for Bind?
Well, hopefully we have some... I think I want to see some bold plays. I don't know about you, but I really like that in the beginning of the game. I really like that fierceness that a team can kind of figure out how to manage depending on the map.
Let's go ahead and get down to it. Of course, every game of Valorant starts the same. It's the pistol round.
Oh.
Indiana Tech going to be on the attacking side. Does look like going to be going with more of a low and slow approach over towards A. 2-3 split, 2 splitting through showers there. Ping actually going to be able to open things up, as well as M2 Sky
really
aggressively pushing onto A here.
It looks like they are definitely covering their bases for this first pistol round to try to get it locked in. It looks like we've got a really good deadlock wall and just some good corners. It looks like they're also holding together really well. They're in lamps as well. And making sure that we...
One enemy remaining.
Kind of surround sight from what I'm noticing. A really good round from Indiana Tech.
Flawless round, holding it down. Can't ask for really much more when it comes to the start of things. And of course, naturally, you win the first round. You should be able to follow up with that second round here as well, since we will be seeing the investment up mostly across the board. We'll see a Ghosty in hand for Void Lord, but everyone else pretty well SMGs, and by at least a buy up. We got the Sheriff in the hand of Pingas here as well. Of course, last week we did see, I think, a couple of times where Indiana Tech were able to win the pistol and then unable to follow things up. So let's see if they can double it down. The good news for them is it looks like Purdue was expecting more of a push over towards A.
It looks like they're taking another slow approach, which is actually, it seems like working out in their favor. It looks like Purdue is not covering sight, so they might try to play a retake here. Looks like they're kind of just waiting for Indiana Tech to push up onto them.
Spike planted.
All three players going to be grouped back here together for the Boilermakers on the defensive side, and surely would try to prefer to die to Spike or maybe catch a exit frag or two. But I think more importantly, we'll be playing together here through this link side again, making sure that they're close enough to be able to die to this Spike. And I don't really see a need for Indiana Tech to be overly aggressive here either, right? If you can get yourself yet another flawless round, you have the ability to make round number 3 a huge sort of double up on your economy, because you can save quite a bit.
It's quite interesting how I'm not too sure how to feel right now, because it seems like they're starting off a little slow and super tactical, but I feel like maybe my spidey senses are telling me that they might switch up the pace here. So honestly, I'm really intrigued on how they're gonna shift towards, you know, round switch, side switch. Looks like the Boilermakers are trying to kind of figure out how Indiana Tech plays. They seem a little unsure about what to do. I think they're just trying to gauge the situation right now. What do you think?
Yeah, well, definitely seems like they're trying to get the grasp onto things. It doesn't seem like round number 3 is starting off any better for the Boilermakers in the last 2, and this could spell great news for the economy here for Indiana Tech, as long as they can continue being successful with their push. 3 people together as the Viper wall drops. It'll be Bacon who will be able to take down Armor. Dex turns the corner, not going to be able to land those shots, and TP's right back into the crosshairs of Void Lord. It's another clean round here for Indiana Tech, as it's going to be all left to the fade.
Definitely noticing a little bit more fast-paced aggression from Indiana Tech, a little more chaotic than the last 2 rounds, so I think that kind of threw off the Boilermakers there. Really beautiful round from Indiana Tech.
That's 3 straight rounds, and we talked about the event, the potential of being able to bonus up quite a bit off the back of 3. You can see with the scoreboard up on your screen. I mean, it's money in the bank over on that Indiana Tech side. Everybody got at least 5K.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could just throw guns off the map right now, but that doesn't mean that Purdue can't make a fast and intimidating comeback. So let's not get our hopes too high. We don't want to jinx anything, right?
Definitely the case, and I think the important thing to remember too is usually you got to try and break that bank a couple of times if you're looking to really be able to assert yourself in the first half. The way that Indiana Tech here is on the attacking side of Bind. They've started off with 3 perfect rounds. It's going to be a quick push here through Showers by Ping and M2 Sky. Z Killer turns the corner. The first time we do see an Indiana Tech player fall, but they do still have some control of the site over here on A. Dex trying to work their way over here back towards that U-All. And now it's gonna be all left to M2 Sky along with the with their teammates. It's been a 2v3 trying to get the spike down.
That was a really good pick, a really important pick as well that we just got there, so it's looking good for Indiana Tech. The playing field is a little more leveled out since it's a 2v2, and it's only round 4, so like I said, we don't want to jinx anything, but I'm feeling really good, Q.
Yeah, I really like the idea too. You pivot over towards B after you're able to get the control into that 2v2. Dex is going to be pushing in on that backside. It's M2 Sky who's already got the read there. Dex, 51 HP, only 8 bullets left in the chamber, but we'll be able to put down M2 Sky, which means Void Lord, the last one left alive. The Prowler already tucked around the corner, and Void Lord, 1 bullet, and they'll get put down. Dex will be able to secure a round here for Purdue as they get their first one here on map 1.
I mean, that was a really close play. Like I said, I'm still feeling really good, but I think some change of pace will be prominent from Indiana Tech the more that we see them kind of get comfortable against Purdue. Especially on a map like Bind, you really have to kind of get into the groove of things, and I think personally, for me, when I play, it takes me a couple rounds to kind of figure out, you know, the groove of everything. Their A was really strong, and then we had to kind of do like a little bit of a shift to B, and it was a little bit of an unexpected 2v2. Their round was really fast in the beginning, and, you know, we don't know if that's what Indiana Tech planned for, so they kind of had to adapt in that situation. And that's always the fun part, I think, about these games, and being able to watch and, you know, kind of be on the edge of your seat. Like, you know, this round started off really slow. Now everything's kind of, oh, there's so much util, and oh, there's so much, you know, there's so many ultis and stuff like that. So things can change in the snap of a finger, and I think that was kind of one of those rounds, last round. So, you know, we can't let that kind of influence what we think is gonna happen. We kind of gotta just wait it out a little bit, see what they decide on doing. Are they gonna be more of an A or a B site team for this first match? But I'm really excited. Like I said, I think it's going really great so far. Lots of plot twists, I think, upcoming in these rounds. And another really good pick too from Indiana Tech there.
Voidlord in a tough spot now, left in the 1v3. At this point, you would just really like to make this as expensive of a round as possible here for the Boilermakers. You mentioned Voidlord has already been able to find one, will turn the corner, and unfortunately does not clear the corner that Vito is sitting, aiming down sight. So the second round of the board here for Purdue, and luckily for Indiana Tech, you know, with those 3 back-to-back rounds to start things up, they'll still be able to afford a buy here. And even if they happen to drop this round, should be able to afford one more buy before things get interesting. But surely Indiana Tech would like to get back to their winning ways here in round number 6.
You know, I think if they kind of do what they did with their A push, they can kind of get a good handhold of sight. And it looks like that's what they might try to do here. They've got a lot of people on B, so Indiana Tech's looking pretty snazzy right now with getting on site and getting the plant down. So let's hope that everything goes in our favor right now.
It's getting brought out here on either side. Unfortunately for Indiana Tech, the first 2 from both the Sova as well as the Brimmy, really only getting minimal sort of efficiency, sort of big buyback as far as for those ultimates. They get the spike down, but luckily it's the gunnies that will work more in the advantage of Indiana Tech to take down players, leaving it all left to Vito. In a 1v3, I feel like normally that magic number is 3. If you've got the rifles in hand, those would be the amount of rifles you would like to be able to carry over to the following round. Vito, as the last one left alive here for the Boilermakers, surely opts to save. Sometimes the right decision isn't always the most fun or exciting one to make.
I absolutely agree. I mean, they didn't know where he was, so in that situation, I think it's pretty smart to kind of just back out and think about everything and reflect on the round with a little bit more time than you would have as opposed to running in there and probably getting gunned down. 3v1 situation like that typically doesn't turn out too good if bomb is planted and you're entering site. You know, bomb was planted down for a good bit there. So time was ticking, and it was either a run and pray, I think, or a really wise and safe decision to save on Vito's end. And I absolutely agree. It's definitely more enticing to do the run and get gunned down possibility as opposed to saving that gun. Because, you know, you can always get a lucky prey pick with a stinger, but that's unfortunately more of a you know, self-made decision and self-play instead of a team play. So I definitely can respect Vito doing what's wiser in that case. But it looks like the angles that Indiana Tech are able to hold against Purdue are really strong. Have you noticed anything different that they're doing as, you know, opposed to the last game that we played?
It just seems like Indiana Tech's pace, I wouldn't say it's much different than last week. It just seems like Purdue unable to match that intensity has really been the big difference. Also, it does feel like Indiana Tech hitting an extra shot or two. I think when we look back to last week and kind of reflect upon the loss, it is against a team that I really wouldn't be surprised to see sitting at the top of South Central A here in Division 9 come the end of the semester. So dropping 2 maps, despite the fact that you were unable to pick up one, I felt like Indiana Tech still looked relatively good in that loss last week. And I think was more important to see how they had bounced back this week. And from what we've seen through the first 7 rounds here on Bind, I think all positive things so far.
Looks like they're excited to start the round. At least Yoru, I'm noticing, is kind of running around a little bit. Looks like they're gonna go for a B push though, so this is gonna be really exciting. I think we are still ahead 3 rounds, so I think it's a good time to be able to change things up and try new things and see what works and what doesn't when we've got that, you know, small lead.
Mention that small lead that Indiana Tech has. Well, last time around was the first real successful NECC, it feels like, on B, at least as far as for an initial push. This time around, opening pick won't be in favor of Indiana Tech, but that does not slow them down from taking control of site. Spike will go down, but they will be at the disadvantage. Come the retake, it'll be 5v4 here for the Boilermakers as Allure will look to turn the corner, looking back towards his back calls. We'll be able to aim down sight with the Sheriff and find one. Indiana Tech need to see just how many of these Boilermakers they can take down here in round 8.
I mean, those, wow, a lot just happened, honestly. That wall bang was absolutely stellar, and then we had Util coming from back sight, from tunnel there, and really good, and wow, really good kills, really good picks. Beautiful, clean round. I'm honestly, you know, very amazed. That was super good on Indiana Tech.
It's kind of strange to see the 3 Boilermakers kind of over cluttered together on that elbow side back of B, not gonna lie, but for Indiana Tech, able to capitalize on a big mistake. One, in part, just a great shooting, which you definitely gotta say Ping led the way in that regards, but not just that. When you have the cross angle from where Ping was, as well as that window, it really allowed for them to execute things well. And when we talk about their execution, Indiana Tech has been able to find XX both towards B and A. This time looking towards A. They found that opening pick. They'll have to watch their backside, as they do have 2 players lurking there through Link, one of which being Vito. But right now they got to make sure they can find a push, because otherwise they're running out of time and they will be pitched here on A.
Spike down.
I like this. I like this timeline that this round has, you know. I think players are falling off at a very even and balanced rate. You know, it's not 3 picks right off the bat, or, you know, no one kind of gets picked off 5v5 until some chaos towards the end of the round where we try to get the bomb down there. This has been super clean and well balanced, and I think the scales are, definitely. They're looking pretty exciting right now. I think the scales are really even and balanced out, and there's a possibility here that Indiana Tech either kind of does what they're doing and keeps going with the back-to-back rounds. We did just get a round from Purdue, so maybe they'll change something up, change the flow of pace, and see. We're still 3 rounds ahead, so we still have some time to play around and see what we like.
Are in an interesting position here going into round number 10, because if Indiana Tech can pull off this round here, Econ not exactly in a position to full buy going into round number 11, and you have to see they'll have to be in a decision on if they want a full buy or that save into round 12. So I think in a power play sort of position here is Indiana Tech. Understandably, they'll want to make sure they can play things slow. It's a pivot over towards B, and it's a trade out here at window.
These are some crazy picks.
Spike planted.
Looks like we're kind of backing out a little bit. Waiting for the rest of Purdue. Yeah, looks like our Raze is kind of creeping in, so the Brim can also make his way, but the Raze gets picked off, so it's all a matter of time before we get cornered there.
Another round on the board for Indiana Tech, and now is where things do get interesting here, Ocean. It's kind of like what I was talking about before heading into that last round. Not going to be able to full buy. Instead, it's just going to be Dex and Allure who will be able to purchase up with a Sheriff. But that's going to be it. So Indiana Tech should be able to turn 7 into 8 here, as long as they're on their P's and Q's. They've got full shields, they've got full utility, they've even got a couple of ults at their disposal as well. And while you could say that Purdue does have their 3 ults, something tells me they're going to want to save them for a round that they feel more confident in.
Listen, you never know. One right click and sometimes it's over, man. So let's see how this goes. A lot of really fast picks there. See, now it's another 3v3. I'm really excited to see. Looks like Yoru's going for the gun because he's got his ult, so he might be able to help carry this round out while plant is happening.
Last player standing.
That's going to be the last one left alive here for Purdue, caught over towards
Really good
Showers.
pick. We've got the bomb down as well, so looks like Indiana took another round. Luckily, we're up on the board. Hopefully, we don't get stuck on that 9-3 curse. I don't know what you've heard about the 9-3 curse, but personally, kind of bit me in the neck a couple times when I didn't believe in it. And I'm just really hoping that we're still smooth sailing after these really fast-paced rounds. Now Purdue's got some guns, so what do you want to kind of see for... Let's talk about the second half. What do you kind of want to see from the second half, Q?
Yeah, I think going towards the second half, Indiana Tech is now going to have to start thinking about playing reactive versus being the ones creating the action, right? So you're looking to see what kind of pace Purdue really is going to step up with, because it's one thing to be able to come in with a game plan. It's something different to have to hold it down against one of those game plans. The shots seem to have been there thus far from Indiana Tech. The question is, can you make the adjustments that are needed once you see what the other team is bringing to the table? So I think with this being map number 1, we've seen as much as we need on the offensive side. I just want to see if we'll be able to duplicate that success.
Absolutely.
Marked 1.
We've got a trend with these 3v3s, so let's just hope that Indiana Tech can get a good angle here on Allure. Really, really good wall bang there. Semi-wall bang, I guess. Just really, really lucky timing there. Good reflexes, fast and snappy. Looks like Indiana Tech's possibly, I don't want to jinx it, but not gonna get caught with the 9-3 curse. So that's one thing to be happy about, right, Q?
Yeah, if you're a believer, I'm sure you would like to avoid the numbers if possible. Ping, I thought maybe was still going to be able to make some sort of magic happen there, but instead it will be 8-4 as we do look to switch to the sides. And because of that 8-4 lead at the halftime there, we're in an interesting position heading into this next Pistols, because again, if you win the Pistols, you very quite often see that followed up by a second round win. Indiana Tech could very quickly find themselves on a double digits here.
Looks like Indiana Tech is focused and cool, calm, and collected. They look like really, really chill, cool cucumbers right now, how I like to say it. Looks like they're pretty relaxed and they've got a plan in place, is what I would like to think from their body language. So going right back into this 4-8 match, let's see if we can keep up the steady flow of rounds.
Looks like at least to start things off on the pistol, Purdue spreading things out a little bit more than we had seen Indiana Tech do on the offensive side, but eventually looking more for a split over towards B. Vito, the only one that has been sent over here towards A, might try and cause a little bit of disruption as far as noise goes, but does look like instead going to be opting to join the rest of the squad over towards B. They're gonna have to get rid of this wall here first, which will waste a little bit of the bullets in the chambers, but as everyone starts to group back together, it's going to be up to Indiana Tech to hold off this push.
And this is really big because it's pistol round, you know, and we know how we feel about pistol round. You win the first one and you've got a good chance at winning the second one. So this is a pretty close gap that we can close in on. You know, if Purdue takes this first round, there's a possibility of going 6-8, and you know, it might kind of take Indiana Tech, take them back a little bit when that gap gets a little closer, since it's been a pretty big gap, but it looks like we have nothing to worry about. I did really like that Viper wall in the beginning of the round, and we've got a right click that hit and miss, and we took the round as Indiana Tech. I'm really liking how organized Indiana Tech has been able to be on Bind. Bind is probably, in my opinion, one of those maps where it's, like I said, kind of a hit or miss when it comes to rounds and closing those gaps, because there's a lot of nooks and crannies, kind of similar to Corrode, where you can kind of just get a couple lucky picks, even if the other team is guns and you're outgunned a little bit, or possibly even outnumbered. I think Bind's one of those maps that gives you still a good shot of bringing it back, or being able to get a couple good lucky picks and still saving your gun and bringing it back for your team. So, you know, I'm always nervous when I'm watching games on Bind and I'm at the end of my seat. I don't know how you are, but for this map, I've realized that it's kind of, ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen next, instead of a normal split and a normal push and just the classics. So
Second round, the second half has been working thus far here for Indiana Tech. They only have 2 more players left to find. You know you've got one tucked over here as M2 Sky pushes forward and puts them down. Dex does have that spike in hand and is looking to at least be able to get the credits for getting that thing down, and will be able to do just that. The only problem, 3 players all running you down, holding shift W. At some point, all you can do is step out and just know that you've got to accept your fate. The defuse is too easy, and Indiana Tech is officially up to that double digits there, Ocean.
I mean, I couldn't be happier, but I do really like how Purdue's been, you know, it seems like they're still giving up a good fight towards Indiana Tech. So I'm really glad that Indiana Tech they've still got their guards up. They've still got a plan, you know, just in case we get a couple numbers pushing back on us. But I'm really lucky and excited to be able to sit here and see us in double digits for that first game.
Get down to it, see how quickly Indiana Tech can wrap things up, because in a best of 3, that map number 1, this back half, while Purdue might feel like it's out of reach, it's still where they can build momentum heading towards map number 2. So it's important for Indiana Tech to try and shut that thought process down, try and make sure they don't give any over any hope to this Boilermaker squad. It seems like they're doing just that. It will be 2 players left, both sitting on minimal HP here in this round number 15 as Armor gets found. Vito, the last one left alive, and they'll be chilling back here at U-Haul, getting found, and that's up to 11 for Indiana Tech.
11-4. What could we complain about? Am I right, Q?
Facts.
Man, I love how Indiana Tech is just so diverse. They're very adaptable this first game, and I'm really excited to see what they do on the second and third game here. Now, let's kind of talk about the games in ahead of us, our second and third map. What are you kind of wanting to see from those matches?
I mean, honestly, I feel like we've been seeing really clean play from Indiana Tech thus far here on Bind. I just want to see them lather, rinse, repeat. I would say, you know, at times maybe it's felt like almost overheating, getting over aggressive with some of these peeks around corner, and you can understand why. I mean, it is a not uncommon thing that you see at this level, where when teams start catching a little heat, they think that they're almost unbeatable here. But Again, I think as long as Indiana Tech continues with what they've been doing, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a 2-0.
Looks like we're backing out a little bit on Purdue's end. Looks like Sova on Tech's team is ready to get that pick as soon as somebody picks out. Really good headbang there. Good dink with the Sheriff. Really good effort from Purdue, but it just seems like Indiana Tech's got that. They've just got that leverage. One more round and I think it'll be smooth sailing for the second map if we keep it up.
I think what's been important to see from Indiana Tech since switching over to the defensive side here is they're comfortable on both sides of the server currently. I feel like there are some teams who, again, when they're the ones in control, they're the ones calling the shots. When they're the ones who are on the attacking side, it's one thing to be able to play with confidence. It's something completely different to be on the defensive side and still to be able to exude that same confidence the way this squad has. M2 Sky is going to be able to find two, with Bacon finding a third. It's going to be all left to the Fade and the Brimmy here in a 2v3.
Now, personally, I've brought it back from 411, so 412, if they get the right picks, we might have a 12-12 match here. I don't know what you think, Q, but anything is possible, so.
Definitely seen stranger things, that's for sure. Gotta make sure you can clear armor over here. Hold on, Z-Killer finds one, but can they clear their back? Because Void Killer and Void Lord and Z-Killer both looking towards showers. Purdue sneaks away with one.
Now, Purdue's got 3 ults that they can use, so I wonder if they're gonna get it to a 6-12 here by dumping their ults, or if they're kind of just gonna, you know, I don't want to say wing it, but they might kind of just try to have a fast round here and maybe regroup for the next game. I'm not too sure.
I do believe if you're a team in Purdue's spot here, it's important to get more of that momentum, the wind back into your sails, because you haven't gotten too many round wins, right? I mean, 5-12, 5-13 if it's the final score isn't the easiest of pills to swallow, as Vito will be able to find one. Spraying through the smoke over here at Showers, looking for a second. But right now, Indiana Tech has had a little turn of the tide. They're starting to struggle with these rounds. Ping going to be able to at least find one, though.
Really good kill from Ping there. Now, these ults really did play out in their favor, and this is becoming a faster round than I expected, but that bomb is progressively getting closer to exploding. So this is ultimately up to if he's going to peak on time. And Purdue gets the pick, so it is a 6-12. So we'll see if Indiana Tech's able to just finish it off, or if Purdue's gonna kind of take a crazy different approach here and, you know, kind of get Indiana Tech on their feet, you know?
Well, the good news for Purdue is they have been able to fight back against the economical advantage that Indiana Tech was able to put themselves in here in the second half. There will be a little bit of a mixed buy. I mean, when we're looking at the numbers, this round does favor Purdue, but they are going to have to string quite a few rounds together, thanks to the fact that Indiana Tech did have that very, very strong strong first half, as well as strong start to this game. I don't think we'll be seeing them use their 2 ults, but hey, if they find a couple more picks, anything can happen.
And a full flash there. So we've got a 3v4 and we're getting the bomb down. So honestly, I think this round could go either way. I'm really excited. Looks like it's a fast round too. So we're getting picks left and right. Looks like Purdue's staying close together, and we're using our smokes to our advantage. It's still really close. Super possible for Indiana Tech to just close this off right now, I think, with the util that we've got, with the ult that we've got. And a really good ult. We got Yoru there.
Oh, there's
Trying
so
to
many
get that
lineups.
defuse.
So many
Good kill.
lineups for that defuse, though. That's the only problem. There's so many spots that they can keep just chucking utility. I don't think we can get this in time.
And Vito with the last 2 picks. Like I said, I love this about Bind, and you know, you kind of always just have surprises hitting you from left and right, but honestly, I still feel really good. I feel great. 7 and 12, you know, it's kind of got me on the edge of my seat in a good way, but I think that Indiana Tech just needs to kind of just shake it off for a second, and I think they'll be able to do that and get that last round. But I am enjoying the vibe switch and the code switch from Purdue right now to try to kind of figure out their momentum, and sometimes that's all it takes, you know. You got to just figure out kind of the groove that you like with your team, and no matter how long you've been playing together, it's different team to team and depends on who you're versing and what map you're versing them on. So some really good sprays from Deadlock. Unfortunately, he does get picked off there.
Standing.
It's another quick round here from Purdue, matching, you had mentioned, that aggression we had seen from Indiana Tech when they were on the attacking side. And what is going to be unfortunate was this was the round that rifles were back in hands all the way around here for Indiana Tech. You know, in that last round where you were at the disadvantage, you could at least walk away in the round loss and say, hey, we made the round somewhat costly. There was only 1 rifle that was carried over. This time around, the Boilermakers are going to be able to carry over 3 in what looked like an assured victory over on Bind. Has now gotten interesting late here at the end of the half.
I think it's really important right now for Indiana Tech to kind of be bold with it, you know? You got to kind of get creative when you've got these funky guns and you're trying to just secure that game. It is 1 round after all, but that's what makes it tricky, because, you know, that 1 round, since it's 1 round until Indiana Tech wins, that kind of makes Purdue act up a little bit, act a little different, you know, be a little more unpredictable possibly than prior rounds. So we've got 1 player down from Indiana Tech already, so hopefully we can even it out and get that 4v4 down to a 4v3. And just as I said it, we've got that 4v3 on our hands, so hopefully we can close off this round and have a good time transitioning into map 2 here.
If you're a fan of Indiana Tech, you would really like to see that Viper going down at this point for Purdue, as they do have the pit available. If Purdue is able to get onto site here at B, that could be something that not only gives them the cover to be able to get the spike down, but also gives them the ability to be able to protect around after the plants as well. They will teleport on over, so it's going to be up to M2 Sky to try and meet with some resistance on this push through shower. We'll be able to find 1 as Vito will now look to get the spike down. There it is now, the Viper's pit coming out for Purdue. Luckily, Indiana Tech does have a Viper that might be able to navigate their way on through. But right now, they're going to have to try and find some way to push back and get control.
1 enemy remaining.
Now it looks like just as long as we can kind of push in on Brim there, we can secure the round. So looks like Indiana Tech took this game home. We had some fun moments from Purdue, some, like I said, some vibe switches and some fun jumpy moments from both teams, and interesting plays for sure, but I really loved the dynamic, and I'm excited for this second game.
Should be interesting to see how map number 2 goes, because it did feel like Indiana Tech really had the chance to be able to solidify a strong dub there early on in map, or in the second half of the map. Potentially gave Purdue some momentum to build upon going into map number 2, but you know, there's that old adage, a win's a win, so we'll definitely take it.
All right, Q. Well, I think I gotta shake off the nerves because I think it's gonna be a really, really interesting game after seeing what we just kind of experienced and watched there. I really liked that push and pull and that aggression and that fierceness. So I hope we can kind of carry that straight through into the second match. But I'm really hopeful. I'm feeling good, and I hope everyone watching is following along, also feeling great, feeling good. Go Warriors!
Should be good. One more map. Well, technically, at least one more map. Could be two. I don't know, though. I feel like the way the squad is looking, some tells me it's going to be just one more. But before we get to that, how about this? Grab yourself a quick drink of water. Grab yourself a snack. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. And on the other side, we'll be back with map number 2.
Waiting for the curtain call here. Now, this is the moment.
They screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here, now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here, now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. Both times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
Now, waiting for the flag to fall.
waiting.
Cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here, now, this is the moment.
moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload, and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory, and I got it, cause I'm
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall.
waiting.
Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
right here, right now.
Now, waiting for the curtain call. Here, now, this is the moment.
Hey, they screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got the next map being a Lotus and Purdue starting on defense, so this should be really exciting. Just jumping right back in. I'm excited to see some aggressive plays on Indiana Tech's side, just starting off on that attacking side. We've got, I believe, a Sova, definitely. Hopefully, we've got a Sova. We're going to get some really good, exciting scans, and hopefully just start to be able to predict how Purdue is going to play this game and get that good lead again like we did last game. How are you feeling, Q? How are we all feeling? Do we have snacks? Did we get some water? Are we all cozy and snug? Are we ready?
Well, I'm at the point of my night where I'm starting my fast, so I got water. That's about it. But You know, I think it's important to stay hydrated, especially when we got the lights on, but also feeling good here as far as for Indiana Tech. I mean, I would have liked to have seen that map number 1 get cleaned up a little bit faster, just based off of the fact that we were so far ahead. But when you look at an 8-4 halftime score to finish 13-8, it's kind of on par, you know what I mean? And I also like the fact that moving on to Lotus here now, Indiana Tech is to start over on the attacking side. I feel like, you know, traditionally your 3 site maps harder on the defensive side, so you get to apply that pressure early.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing that I do enjoy is I have the confidence in our team in Indiana Tech, so I kind of did. I can't lie, enjoy that, you know, little bit of a push and pull, and like I said, being on my on the edge of my seat there a little bit, I knew we were gonna pull it back, so I was pretty relaxed through it all. But hopefully we coast through this really good lineup there from Purdue, but it didn't catch anybody, so a little bit of a dead end there with that util, but it looks like we've got a good start to push into site A. I'm actually really surprised with how many people are, or for lack of better words, are not holding A site.
Yeah, I feel like generally you'll see somebody for Purdue pushed up a little bit further. I almost feel like that shows the respect that this Boilermaker squad is handing over towards Indiana Tech, or maybe it's just a confidence that they have on the retake. They've already been able to find 1, make it 2, as Armor's going to be able to find Z-Killer here. Indiana Tech does have the spike down, of course, so they are the ones holding off on this retake, as Void Lord will be able to find 2, Ping will be able to find 1, but unfortunately, as both of them fall, it does mean that it's all going to be left to Bacon. Rounds the corner, going to be able to find 1. The good news for Bacon, they're at the advantage here in the health department. The smoke will at least give Armor a little bit of cover. Bacon going to have to step on through, and Indiana Tech take round 1.
Omen versus Omen is always a fun one there, and I love how that was our fate for our pistol round. Looks like we've got that pistol round in the bag though, so hopefully we can kind of use this round to get ready to build up that eco again, kind of put the money in the bank.
I like the way that we saw them start map number 1. That is most definitely a possibility, especially when you add in the fact that it looks like Purdue is absolutely given A over for free. They were all grouped up over towards B, and it looks like they're going to flank together.
5-person flank and a crazy retake idea.
Spike planted.
Now they got to trip this wall really carefully. Really good job there with tripping that wall. I don't know if that's going to be enough to take the round though, because we've got that bomb down, really good util, and it looks like we're really holding sight off. Purdue's going to try to get into the smoke together here, but luckily we've got a Sova, really good dart, and got that leverage right now. Another beautiful pick. Looks like we just tied the round together, got the first 2-0, and we've started off really strong. So I've got nothing but a smile on my face, and I don't know, lots of questions to where this game could honestly take us.
Definitely interesting, as it started in a similar fashion to map 1, right? Yeah, map 1 we had 2 perfect rounds, 2 flawless rounds to start things off. So maybe not quite the same, but we did see in a sense that, well, Indiana Tech was in a pretty good position to start round 3 last time to be able to bonus up pretty good. They're looking to do the same thing here, and you know what? Their pushes over towards A have been successful. They'll feign that this time. They'll fake over that way with that Viper's wall still up, and now it's everyone over towards Mound pushing into Vito here.
And I was actually about to say, we started off really strong. Wow, really good picks from Vito. This is a really, really fascinating round, really beautiful round. I do like how Indiana Tech played that, fake site. I was actually about to say, we've kind of gotten that good start, clean start, fast rounds. And even though this map has 3 sites, I was going to say, I'm kind of grooving with how we're still taking A so well. With this game too, but then out of nowhere they switched over to Site C, so really excited to see maybe a B play soon and how they might try to go about that.
See here in round number 4, as we do get started, they at least looked over towards A, but looking was just the key. That was all they ended up doing. They're going to end up, I think, full sending over here towards A. The satchels for Ping will isolate Ping on the other side of this wall. It slows down the push onto C, but it won't stop it. But it will at least allow enough time for the defense for Purdue to rotate over.
Gun here.
Here we've got a good hold from Indiana Tech, and it seems like Purdue's going to slowly start inching up with their fade, taking that Prowler into sight, but good, fast reactions from Indiana Tech, and we've still got numbers, so let's see if we can hold sight down for this round and get that 3-1. I like the confidence that Indiana Tech is having. Unfortunately, our Viper kind of just got shot in the back there, which, always happens to the best of us, but it seems as though we're still doing okay in holding that site over and then just locking it down.
Kind of a filthy 3K from Bacon there to be able to secure the round. And, earlier on I had mentioned how it really feels like 3 is the magic number, and not just because that's what Schoolhouse Rock taught me growing up, but you're able to start stacking up your economy that way as well. That's exactly what Indiana Tech was able to do there, and they'll continue stacking forward and stacking that bread as long as they can continue duplicating that success. It's going to be a save over on that Purdue side, which means round 3-1 should very quickly turn to 4-1 here.
We're getting that orb, kind of just playing slow as Purdue. I love how Indiana Tech just kind of knows where to go, what to do, and they're getting, the timings right with their util and their peeking, and I just love how fast-paced this game has started as well. It looks like the fade and the it looks like the fade really likes to play backside hall there when it comes to retake, and it just seems like it hasn't been working out in their favor too well. So I'm fascinated and intrigued by how Purdue might handle that, if they're going to kind of keep sending fade in from the back angle of things with her util, her prowlers, or if they're going to have her kind of push in at a different angle, maybe through waterfall if Indiana Tech decides to play C like that again. But it looks like it's going well, and if they keep it up, we're going to have a really smooth sailing Lotus game.
It's been smooth sailing so far, that's for sure. And they are really starting to see the benefits of what's been consistent gameplay for them. It feels like here another round on the board could very well turn the tides and make this second map go even quicker than we saw map number 1. They're currently up 4-1. And while they are going to be conceding sight over on that Boilermaker side, I think it's because they're wanting to play the full 5 on the retake. It's going to be the Rolling Thunder that'll slow things down as Allure steps on over, finds 2. Dex finds 1 as well. And it looks like this could be another round on the board for Purdue.
1 enemy remaining. Hold. Spike down A.
A little bit of a surprise, in my opinion. Maybe they take B. I'm waiting for a fun B push.
I feel like a B push is one of those dangerous ones to set up for, though, right? Because then you are more than likely getting pinched with the defender, both from C and A. I feel like generally it's a more of a, you keep that as a ace up the hole in case you half push towards either C or A and need to pivot away and don't got the time. But who knows? I mean, this right now the spike is defaulted. Maybe they scout a little information and feel like a B push could be needed here.
Looks like we're backing out just a little bit as Purdue. And then as Indiana Tech, it looks like we're kind of slowly making our way towards A, and I feel confident in a bomb plant, but that retake is creeping in on us pretty fast with having 4 of their players come up from what looks like heaven, and that's always really tricky. Got an ult and a kill from Raze, and it looks like one of our players is hurt in tree, but trying to hold them off as we kind of crawl back in. Bacon fully blinded and stunned right now in that smoke, unfortunately goes down. The bomb is being defused. Maybe Vice can get a pick or two here or save. Looks like we're going for that save option. Really good util there to keep them kind of off, and I think we'll be able to regroup. I'm not worried about it, Q.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about just quite yet. However, if you drop another round here, then all of a sudden the economy starts to look a little scary over on that Indiana Tech side, and what feels like should be a half that you walk away with the lead at here on the attacking half of Lotus, all of a sudden there's some questions looming. So it could be a very pivotal round here in round 8.
Well, you know what they say, a save round today keeps the doctor away. So if we get to that point, then you just got to do what you got to do.
Tough way to start off this round, finding 2 opening picks over on that Purdue side. Indiana Tech is going to be left with a 3. The good news is you do still have the possession of the spike. The location of said spike has not been given up. However, you don't find very much value off of the back of the ulti there for the Raze. And once Void Lord falls, it does mean that the Warriors are going to be stuck as a duo.
A pick here would be really, really good, but it looks like they're closing in on the Raze there, and they take her out, unfortunately. But I think this is a really good opportunity for Indiana Tech to kind of regroup and have a little fun with a save round. So I think it'll be, as I said, a nice little timeout. I think it'll be a good spot to kind of regroup and really change the pace of things. It's kind of, think about it as like a 4-4 being similar to a 0-0, you know? Looks like Z Killer is taking a nap there. Enjoying the break.
Missing a couple of Z's in the front of his name, I do suppose. I do. If I can be critical for just a moment, and if I'm not able to, I'm going to be critical anyways. My 2 cents is free. It did feel like if we were going to call a timeout here, I feel like we probably should have seen the timeout being called before what would have ended up being the final full buy round, because I don't think that we're going to be able to see the Warriors buying this next, and understandably so. They are probably more talking for that follow-up round once the rifles are back in the hands. But by then, the momentum going to be very firmly in the side of the Boilermakers here. So let's see if there's a timeout buff that might work for Indiana Tech as we go off to round 9.
Well, honestly, Q, I think that timeout was more kind of just to shake it off and have some deep breaths and kind of regroup and recollect and have a moment to yourself to kind of reflect on what you could do better. It seemed like they weren't too talkative during that timeout, so maybe they just needed a second to kind of take a deep breath and take a step back, and hopefully it does really help them out here. Like I said, a 4v4 can be similar to a 4v4. 4-4 can be similar to a 0-0 where it kind of, we're tied up and they've got a really good opportunity, even if it's a save round, to kind of play a little different, be a little more creative, and have a little bit more fun with it, try new things. So we've got a really good advantage right now. Like I said, This could be really good for Indiana Tech to kind of bring it back. I don't think that, you know, as silly as it might sound, I don't think guns always determine the outcome of a round. And I think that if you get fun and creative with it, you can kind of test things and try new things and have really good outcomes and be pleasantly surprised. So we've got a really, really good 3v3 right here. Breach is low on Indiana Tech, and we've got a Sova ult on on Purdue. We've got that Breach low and dead, and then Indiana Tech takes that round. Now we've got the Omen ult as well. So hopefully we can use those to our advantage next round as well and start to kind of create a really nice gap.
You'd like to see the bounce back there, or as you said, able to shake it off, I suppose. Now it's going to be up to Purdue to see if they can bounce back in a big way, because otherwise they could be going down to these final 3 rounds on the defensive half. After this round, not even have a full buy unless they do opt for just 1 less rifle in the follow. So Indiana Tech can kind of swing things and still have, I would say, a strong first half here if they're able to move the needle, even just up to like a 7-5, meaning they win 2 of the following 3. They're causing a little bit of noise over towards A here at Mound, but the spike is still defaulted back as they could potentially still look to pivot towards A.
I'm surprised that our Sova has the bomb right now. Looks like we've got 4 ultis that my eye didn't catch. I didn't see the Viper and the Vice ulti, so I was a little thrown aback by the Sova having that bomb. But it looks like we're in a good spot. Kind of just taking our time right now, and that might be a really good play. We're 4 and 5, so I think they've got that leeway and that wiggle room right now to kind of test the water and see how Purdue's going to react to the things that they do. But I think they got to play this carefully because it can turn into a ball rolling, you know, domino kind of effect where Purdue just kind of, I guess I could say like maybe util spam in a way to kind of bring the odds back in their favor. But it looks like Indiana Tech really, really took advantage of those ults to try to get that bomb down. I'm sorry, I'm so fascinated by how this round is going right now that honestly there's like blanks in my speech. I'm really fascinated if we can pull back this 3v4, and it's looking good so far. Really good kill from Bacon as well. 2v2, we've got full health, we've got 1 pick, now it's down to Vice. And getting that kill, getting that round, creating that gap. Really exciting, really good for Indiana Tech. So let's hope we can do it again. It seems like this, there's just so much happening, you know? It's not one singular A push, you know, C push. It's kind of, they're really feeling it out super well, and I think that they were really able to benefit from that timeout to kind of just shake things off. So I'm glad they were able to regroup like that. I am surprised by... I'm a little surprised by that force from Purdue.
I think they figured they'll at least be able to get some semblance of a mixed buy next round while still be able to have rifles in hands across the boards, even if it is with half shields. Allure will be able to open things up, but it's going to be M2 Sky who gets exchanged out after finding 2. It's the 3v3 here, Ocean, that we found ourselves in so often over the course of map number 1. We'll be in that similar sort of case here in map number 2. I thought last time around we were going to be seeing a push over towards B. That could still be on the table here in round 11 if Z Killer does get caught up with a bunch of this utility that is set right around the entryway here at A. But Vito is going to step back, wait for the rest of the defense to rotate over, and they're going to play the retake here as the Viper's pick goes up.
Really classic plant, and using the ult to our advantage. We can also still use that Omen ult if there's an opening for it, but it looks like the Vice ult from Purdue is putting us in a tricky spot. Thank God we've got that Viper ult to kind of blend things together and blur things with each other. Still taking that round. I think that Viper ult really came in clutch there, in my opinion. I think that the ult from Vice was, I could see why they made that play. I see the vision for sure, but that Vice ult is just not as strong on C. You know, so many different angles, heights, and places you could play where, you know, if you're creeping up onto a ramp and you can't see anything because of the Viper ult and all of that smoke, I think having a gun isn't going to help you out too much just because you can't even really see where you're going, you know. So I do like that there was that creative thinking and that boldness there, but unfortunately Indiana Tech just kind of had the upper hand, and looks like we're scanning C to kind of feel it out and hopefully get right on into sight here, but we realize that we've got that wall. So looks like they're rotating off. Do you think they're going to go A? Do you think they're going to go B? Maybe they play for picks here, even though they've got that upper hand. Honestly, it could go any which way. Kind of talk me through your thought process right now and how you're feeling. They're playing a little more slow, so let's take this in.
Yeah, I mean, they have some utility at least set over towards A, including that Viper wall, so not surprised to see them opt for the push over to this side. The question is, how much more space can you buy yourself? Is Z-Killer's going to be able to at least find one, and M2 Sky finds two? Honestly, it looks like a really clean push towards A, but it's going to be a pivot towards B. You finally got your wish.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
I sure did. Now we've got Dex, Fade walking towards B, smokes everywhere. Wonder what's going on through his mind. Waiting for that pick using his util, but luckily our teammates are able to back off in time and secure that round, not being affected by that util on Fade's end.
Switching sides.
I got what I needed. I got that really fun and awesome B plant and that secured round. So I'm excited to kind of see what Purdue does here.
Well, we found ourselves in a very similar situation as we did in map number 1. It was that 8-4 split last time around, and in a similar fashion, it is now going to be Indiana Tech that is going to be switching over to the defense as well here. You know, I feel like, you know, traditionally, not only are the 3 map sites a little tougher to play defense on, but also known here on Lotus for that to be the same case. So let's see if they start things with a strong pistol round here.
A classic dart from Sova, and it looks like they're pushing up on A. And they've got a really strong hold on C, but unfortunately looks like Purdue's really set on that B push first round, getting sight. Let's see how Indiana Tech can handle it. Looks like they're coming in from all different kinds of angles. I don't know if Purdue's ready for it.
They seem to be holding it off for now as Purdue, while they do have the man advantage, 2 players sitting at half health. Void Lord trying to find one on the backside, not going to be successful in that regard. It's a pistol round that goes in favor of the Boilermakers as they look to cut into this lead.
Now I wonder if Purdue's going to favor a site here.
They do kind of get freedom, right? With the fact that they did win that last round, they should be expecting to be at the advantage when it comes to the gunnies. I feel like often when we see that on this map, we see teams push towards A because of those longer sight lines, but we'll see if they switch things up.
Looks like they're holding more than I expected them to, which is fascinating because we've got that right click on that classic, you know? So if Indiana Tech can creep up enough and do it the right way, Purdue's kind of putting themselves in a tricky spot.
Almost makes you wonder if Purdue is trying to allow an anticipated aggression from Indiana Tech.
Looks like Tech didn't fall for it though. Really good effort from Ping, but unfortunately, just a little bit of an angle difference, and obviously we're outgunned just a little bit.
Spike planted.
Spike has been planted here now. The question becomes, with pretty well everyone gathered up back at A stairs and on this A top level, how costly can you make this round to set things up for you?
Really good patience on Indiana Tech's side right there. Watching our Vice have the patience of an absolute saint, honestly. Not peeking, not falling for the bait, maybe getting that right click. Oh man, double swung. And it looks like Purdue took that round. We're going 6-8. We've still got that little upper hand on them, so maybe we could take advantage of another timeout here. I don't know if you think it's too early or if you think they should take it, Q. Talk me through it.
I mean, it's still early on in the second half. I don't know if you'd worry about it just quite yet. I feel like normally it's once you get ready for, if you're going into, like, say, a second rifle round where you haven't won one on the defensive side, you've still got the lead. It's not like it's crazy momentum getting built up. But if we do see another couple of rounds go in favor of Purdue, probably see that timeout getting called probably around that 8-8 point.
Sure.
I think otherwise you're feeling all right. Rifles are back in your hands now. This is when a lot of people really say that a half of Valorant does get started, and it starts the right way. I mean, Void Lord's going to be able to find one, and it really shuts down this initial push towards A.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful one too, honestly. Now Purdue's kind of thinking about what they could do and which bases they could cover. It seems like they're slowly creeping back to B, and I think Indiana Tech kind of already has that idea to cover that base right there. Raised creeping up, trying to cover main. Unfortunately, no really useful util here except for some satchels, which might not come in handy. But we've got that really, really good hold on that judge. So hopefully Raze can get this pick right here if their Vice chooses to peek. But seems as if though the rest of their team is kind of creep back towards C. Blinding and going in for that push to get that bomb down. Kind of struggling to make their way onto site. Oh, and then out of nowhere, that util from Omen really helped clear up site a little bit. So let's see. Really good pick from Bacon as well. Another 3v3 that we've found ourselves in, Q. And the classic smoke in Judge.
Usually you favor the judge in that scenario around the corner, but it's a swing and a miss. So M2 Sky, the last one with full health that's left alive, is able to turn things now into the 2v2. The Razor comes into play, just trying to burn the last bit of time. Bacon, 11 HP in a dream, as Allure will be able to put them down, and Purdue cuts this lead down to 1.
Man, that timing was insane. I mean, it was the Raze ult, and then as soon as he turned his back, he got shot at. But if he was looking to his right, he would have definitely caught that Raze off guard, I think, and gotten that pick there. But unfortunately, now we are 7-8. I still feel okay. I think that we just got to shake it off just a little bit. I'm liking how close that scoreboard is looking, honestly. Super balanced. And looks like Indiana Tech's got a little bit of a rough round with the Sheriffs, but I think maybe a couple picks here can really help us kind of open up a way to get ahead again. Looks like they're pushing really, really hard, getting those picks.
Spike down, attackers.
Another 3v3 turns into a 3v2. Really aggressive there. And I think that was a good way to go in a situation like that. I think it was fun and fast and unique, and it looks like Purdue's gonna get that bomb down shortly here if Omen's able to cross the Vice wall. Indiana Tech slowly making their way. We've got a drone, now we've got a dart regen, and then we've got our shocks as well. We've got that scan dart that we can use to our advantage, but good kill. Really clean 2v2. Sova down. Vice not being able to decide on who to kill there, but getting Omen down low. He's gonna need a shield, and it was a close round. Another clean slate, another 8 and 8, and now we can buy. So hopefully, yes, I hope we can kind of bring it back. Time out from Indiana Tech. Another tie and timeout, and I think Killer's taking another nap, which seemed to help him out a lot last time. So, you know.
Envisioning what's coming next, I do believe, is what Z Killer is doing, trying to envision pulling things off to a close here on the back end of this this map. I had mentioned earlier, I thought this would be where the timeout was called if it was needed. After we get tied up at 8-8, we're heading into another rifle round. You drop this rifle round, though. This is where things do get sort of dangerous, and I feel like we had seen ourselves in a similar situation. I'm trying to remember which map it was, whether it was map 1 or map 2, as far as last week, but it was a map where it felt like, unfortunately, after the timeout, we saw that the Warriors were unable to bounce back. We saw them bounce back after the timeout used earlier. Let's see if they can turn things around on the defensive side here, heading into the meat and potato rounds 17 through 20.
Hopefully they can take advantage of it. Yeah, absolutely, Q. I mean, I completely agree with you. Hey, and listen, if Z Killer is just thinking about counting sheep, whatever he's doing, it helped him out last time. So hopefully he can, you know, kind of pull that weight really, really well like he did again, and kind of bring back that momentum with his team. I think Indiana Tech is really good at kind of regrouping like that, and it seems like they're kind of just pushing Purdue in. Purdue looks really boxed in right now, if we take a look at our map, and it looks like they're just going to try to go for that A push. Let's see how that turns out. Bacon trying to hold them off. Good pick from Raze. Raze really helping Bacon out there. Getting our picks, a 3v4, another 3v3. We are loving these 3v3s. Fortunately for us, Vice is low on health, so we've got 45 seconds until we need to get that bomb down, and looks like Purdue's trying to get that bomb down, but I don't think Indiana Tech is gonna let that happen, and we take that round.
Well done by Indiana Tech. It felt like you should have been able to keep 3 rifles standing, but you know what? A round win is a round win. After seeing 4 in a row fall in favor of Purdue, they get their first round won on the defensive side, and at an important moment as well, because they'll be able to still maintain those rifles in hand. It'll be essentially just I would dare call it a mixed buy. I mean, it's 1 half shield, 1 SMG, but when it feels like a game is as tightly contested as we are here in map number 2, every little bit matters.
The Killer's awake. Looks like he's
trying to figure out what the tech pause was called for, I think.
Seems like the server is just lagging a tiny bit, so we should be back on track just in a second or two, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. But, you know, Q, let's take this time to kind of talk about what we want to see. And do you think this 1 point, you know, this 9-8 is gonna be kind of a strong enough morale booster for them to keep smooth sailing? Or do you think, you know, maybe there's still that nervousness, that tension in the air?
I think there is still some tension. Generally, I call rounds 17 through 20 the meat and potato rounds, where the real heart of things happen to come across. And it seems like Indiana Tech's starting to lock back in at the right time. I mean, they won round 17. They've got themselves a man advantage here in round 18 as well. The question becomes, does Purdue continue trying to push towards B? Because it seems like the initial push was red, but they did not completely rotate on over, so Purdue could still get caught off in a big way.
And it seems like Indiana Tech was able to pick up on that so well, to where they have their raise, and it looks like their vice push towards C, and not push, but rotate towards C. And now they're quickly rotating onto B and not allowing Purdue to get on site. So this is actually huge for us, and hopefully it keeps working out in our favor. We're, watching the time run out for Purdue to get their plant down. So it seems like they want to have their Omen use that ult, but we'll see if they can get that plant down, because Indiana Tech is doing just a phenomenal job at quick rotates and reading Purdue right now. Purdue is just being read like a book, and it looks like Indiana Tech is able to just stall so perfectly and get that round. I mean, Purdue couldn't even get that bomb down. They kind of ran all over the place and got to know that map like crazy that round, but really proud of Indiana Tech there and how well they adapted. Looks like Purdue's taking a small break,
Well, it will be a big round for them here heading into round 19. This is kind of that turning point, just as much as we had talked about that 8-8 round being the turning point for Indiana Tech, because had they dropped that, 8 could have very quickly turned into 10 over for Purdue, and we would have found ourselves into a similar situation that the Purdue finds themselves in now, where they understand that one more full buy round, which I don't know if they'll be able to fully invest on this one. They're more than likely talking about the following, or just trying to figure out as far as where they want to save their credits at, as well as also make sure that they are fully cool, calm, and collect heading down the home stretch here, because Purdue will have to play a darn near perfect brand of Valorant from here on out if they're going to want to force a map number 3. Let's get ready for round 19 here.
Looks like Purdue. Yeah, it looks like they're kind of leaving bomb. Trying to clear up to C. What are you thinking?
I think they're going to do a light scout both towards A and C here. And it was this round that they did still have enough credits in hands to be able to have rifles in hand. So it feels like we could very well be, I don't want to say securing the deal if Indiana Tech is able to lock down a round win here, but it will all but do that. Allure will step forward though, and we'll be able to find what's going to end up being a huge double kill. That's going to give Purdue the green light to exec here towards A.
Absolutely massive double kill there, and now they're getting onto site. It looks like we've got Sova waiting for the rest of his teammates to kind of take that retake together, using his util. Surprised that he hasn't used that dart to scan site yet.
Spike planted.
Beautiful kill. Taking drops, slowly sliding down. 1v2. Kind of stunned in the back there. Really tricky spot. Holding that classic tree angle with Omen using his smokes. Maybe getting this bomb halved. Getting that really good kill.
Back to work.
Oh man, oh man! I mean, read like a book, but just that timing is like COD reload time, you know? As soon as you start reloading your weapon, you just get gunned down like you never have before. So that timing was just, oh man, a bummer, but that was a really good round. Unfortunately, they did get that round though because of that, that unfortunate timed ending. So now we've got 3 ults against 2, and we've got Breach holding the bomb. The Viper and the Vice ult here on the same team with that Raze ult, possibly for either this round alone or maybe next round alone, could be really, really huge, especially right off the bat if they can kind of get a bunch of players in one spot. I think they could really take advantage of it, but it looks like they're using that Viper ult. Z-Killer is going to use his util, and looks like they're really holding off Purdue in the start here. Purdue kind of, I think, pondering if they should push this, if it's, you know, just Viper on site, using that ult to back them off, if they should risk it, kind of spamming through, but it looks like they're kind of also keeping a player on A lurking there, trying to possibly get a pick, but doesn't work out in their favor. They gotta kind of get a move on here, about 50 seconds left to get that bomb down. I'm really enjoying this. Purdue low on health, and another 3v3 Q.
Down to another 3v3 as both the Vise and the Viper will fall. That allows for the spike to go down, and the rest of the defense will rotate their way over from there. M2 Sky steps through, able to find one. Also has the dart to reveal the location on a second player. The showstopper comes out, and a clean retake here from Indiana Tech as they'll move up to 11.
Absolutely beautiful retake. I really liked those last picks and how they played off of each other just so beautifully. Smooth transition, 9-11 right now. Indiana Tech taking the lead. I think we can hopefully just get one more round here, and really similar. It's going to be a similar score to last game, it looks like. Again, I'm really liking how balanced the scoreboard is. Everyone's doing really well. Purdue's in a tricky spot with those with the cash in their pockets, you know, running a little dry on money, but the classic sheriff round. Let's see the damage that they can deal, grabbing hopefully that ult orb to maybe try to get a little bit of an advantage. I'm not too sure how much that's going to help them, but slowly creeping back around to A. Indiana Tech is super scattered this round, really even and classic hold there. We've got 2-1. We've got 2, 1, and 3. It is so difficult to see.
You might be looking for a potential push towards B. Ping would be the only one here for now.
I'm sorry, did I say 2-1-3? I meant 2-1-2.
Holding off a potential push here. Does look like instead pivoting quickly through door, and will run into a Z-Killer and Void Lord.
Holy util
on
spam.
C, all sorts of util getting used. Void Killer steps around the corner and gonna be able to find 3. The last one left alive will be Vito, but Vito does not have the possession of Spike.
It's also, I mean, it's a 4v1, and yeah, they've really got that Spike locked down. So it looks like Vito's gonna go for that. I'm gonna call it a Red Bull save because he had to do that last game, and it looks like he's kind of being put in that position to do it this game, and we'll see if they can kind of maybe bring back a number to make this a really close game, make a spider nails, or if Indiana Tech's gonna kind of just close the book and call it a night.
Well, Purdue has put themselves in quite the predicament here because they are going to have to win 3 rounds in a row, and not only that, but because of where Econ is sitting, they're going to have to be 3 darn near flawless rounds, because if they're these types of rounds that we've been seeing the Boilermakers winning in the past, where it's one player left alive and they're going to have to reinvest fully on shield and all of their util, even then, at some point before we get to overtime, Purdue still could be struggling in that economy department. But now even more so as Bacon opens up with a frag, Purdue in even more trouble.
Now we've got 2 Vice ults, and we've got the Sova on Indiana Tech and the Rays on Purdue, just struggling and a little bit hurt there. But now we have that. We've got that Breach ult as well from Purdue, so we'll see how they'll take advantage of that. Not looking too good. 2v3, Sova low. 2v2, Sova low. Still haven't gotten that bomb down. Trying to use our util to kind of figure out what's going on and see if we can take advantage of having those retake moments.
A full pivot over towards C with the spike in hand. Vito able to spray
1v1.
one to the door. It's all left to a 1v1. Dex versus Ping. Ping swings and going to be able to take Dex down. And with that, another hard-fought victory, but the brooms will be busted out as the Warriors sweep past Purdue.
I've had an incredible night, and I've been on the edge of my seat. I loved watching how Indiana Tech came together and closed off these close games. I think those timeout moments were really, really crucial and critical, and kind of pulling everything back. And I just loved watching that. Kind of walk us through how you've been feeling through these games, Q, and what you think Indiana Tech did that was especially eye-catching these 2 games. What did you kind of really enjoy?
So I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I don't know if there was anything that was necessarily eye-catching about tonight. It did feel like this was a series that Indiana Tech needed to walk away with a dub in, just looking at pure matchups wise, and they came in and did that. I think both maps 1 and 2 probably made a little bit closer than it needed to be. But again, that old-fashioned saying, a win's a win. You can't really be too much of a beggar, or you know what I mean? You walk away with a sweep, and more importantly, kept things relatively clean after a hard-fought loss last week.
Absolutely. And look, and it made things fun, it made things interesting. Watching them be able to pull that back like that. And yes, a win is a win, but again, a team that's able to kind of regroup so well is something kind of rare in my opinion. I really enjoyed watching that from Indiana Tech. I thank everyone for watching this stream tonight. I'm going to pass it off to Q and see if we have some last remaining thoughts.
Well, I think we are going to be getting in an interview here in just a moment after the win with one of our players, if I am not mistaken. But I do think it is going to be interesting to kind of pick up their brains a little bit. I want to really talk to them about what was going on in their minds in the back half of Lotus there. But before we can get to that, we do need to get everything set up on the back end. So we're going to take ourselves a very quick break. We're going to come back with an interview. We're going to wind things down and get y'all on your way for the rest of your Monday. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with an interview right on the other side of this break.
My moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but time my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. Cold times and I step back to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment. Now, waiting for the curtain call. Here now, this is the moment.
Hey, they screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but time my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. Cold times and I step back to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
Hey, they screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall.
waiting.
Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
Right here, right now, right now.
Here now, waiting for the curtain call. Here now, this is the moment.
Hey, they screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
Did we take it too far to say that we could not pretend now? Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. too far to say that we could not pretend now? Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can hold that's worth this waiting cold. And I want something that is real, something to make me feel alive. Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can hold that's worth this waiting cold. And I
everybody. We've got Bacon here for the interview that we were all long awaiting. Sorry for the wait. We've also got Q, obviously. Let's jump right into it. So, Bacon, you started off as Brimstone, and then you chose to play Omen. Kind of talk us through which one might have kind of favored your playstyle tonight. Which one did you maybe have more fun with?
Okay, so that's a good question. We started off on Bind, and I was playing Brimstone on that, and I felt like I was doing okay with that. I probably could have done a little bit more, but I still felt like I was fulfilling my role most of the time. But once we moved over to Omen on Lotus, I felt like I was slightly or to moderately better with that in terms of like performance, but also like comfortability on Omen, and just like the rest of the team could just do whatever like it would be like whatever was best in that situation. It was just natural for them to do. I could just do my own thing, they could do theirs, and with my utility on Lotus, I felt like I was able to like use that so well as well. Especially, like probably the best time was just when they were pushing me hard, and then I was able to get out of there somehow. Even after like a breach ult and like a bunch of util, I was still able to get out. I think that was probably like the best for me on that.
And that's really good because you get to have that freedom, right? I'm glad you were able to kind of also take that in, because with such fast-paced games, you know, it's hard to kind of have that second to be able to pull yourself back and get yourself out of that situation without, you know, putting your team in a bad spot. So I actually really like that you were able to kind of digest that so well. Also, everybody welcome him back. This is actually Bacon's legacy game, which means he is back on Team A from being on Team B. You were on Team A originally, got moved, and then you are now back. So talk to us about that. How was that? Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you. It has been very interesting seeing like very stark contrasts between playing across both teams. Like probably like the most physical example of that was when we were having one match on A team. I was playing on that, and then we ended up swapping me out for Ethan at Pink, sorry. And I went to go play with the B team after that, and there was just such a really big transition from playing on the A team to the B team. And when I wasn't really doing that good that game, I ended up like getting match MVP the next game on B team. So I feel like I get different opportunities across both teams. When I play on like the B team, I'm more of like the coaching role, or not really coaching, but like IGL. And I'm also helping make more of the shots and instruct the others on how to lead, whereas on A team I'm kind of doing more of the opposite. But either way, it has been fun. The stakes, the expectations feel a little bit higher on A team. You know, that's to be expected, but I am fully dedicated on sticking through with this.
Cool. So kind of bouncing off of that, I want to bring up some of your statistics. The one that I kind of enjoyed, thinking about and picking apart after that game was your combat score. Really big difference there. Your first game, your combat score was 150, and then your second game, it was 212. So we averaged out at 181 there. But, you know, Bacon, talk to us about what kind of changed there, because that's a pretty big jump, you know? And was it the mentality? Was it your energy? You know, did you maybe just get a little more warmed up? But what happened?
I think it was a variety of factors. Some of them definitely including like just getting that a little bit of extra warm up in, and also with the confidence that I was having. I was going into the first game still like in a really good mood and very high morale. I don't think I was really warmed up that well. But second game, something just clicked and happened, and once I just started like getting the ball rolling, I just like my confidence just did not waver. Usually that's kind of what makes me fall off a little bit in matches, is if my confidence is being tested. It's probably one of my bigger weaknesses, but with this game it was really strong, and I was able to use it really well to especially pop off in like the next game as it just kept building up.
I'm gonna ask you two really quick questions, and then we're gonna bounce over to Q to wrap up the night. But one, if you could tell the viewers, what was your favorite part of tonight? What was something you really enjoyed out of those two games?
I would just say it's the good times that we all as a team we have together. We say some of the funniest things. We are doing some of the funniest stuff. That always helps us to reset and go into the next game with the really high morale. And also, there's just a lot that happens. It's complicated, but it's really good. So I would say a lot of our success just comes from just being ourselves, having fun with each other.
If there's one thing that kind of surprised you a little bit tonight, if anything at all, what was that?
I'm not sure. I would say just how in many cases it felt like we were more easily able to adapt to certain situations and change up how we were playing compared to before. I know that throughout a lot of our practicing and our playing, we have said that we were kind of getting repetitive at times or getting very predictable. And tonight, I just felt like we weren't at all. And we were constantly changing things up or analyzing what the enemy was doing and changing how we played based off of that. And that's just not something that like I was fully like aware of, but like I was really happy that we were doing it, and it was awesome.
I'm really glad that he said that, guys, because I was saying that. I was like, they're adapting so well. They're, you know, like, this is so fun to watch just because nothing is getting repetitive, nothing is boring. I was loving it. So I'm glad, you know, at least one of the team members also felt the same way. But yeah, that's all from Bacon and all from me tonight. We're going to give you guys over to Q, and if, you know, he's got anything fun to say, he's going to say it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, it's a great start to the week over here for Indiana Tech Esports. A big old W, bouncing back after a first loss of the season last week. We do have some more broadcasts coming up over here on the Twitch channel later on this week. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that follow button in the bottom right-hand corner. Turn those notifications on. As far as for tomorrow, we will either be back here at 6 p.m. for Overwatch or 7 p.m. for Rocket League. So keep an eye out over on social medias. And until we do get to catch y'all back for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all, that's Ocean and Bacon, and I'm Q, and from the rest of the crew here from the front to the back, y'all have a great rest of your week. Peace.
Good night, guys.
Goodbye.